Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. In the music section, which starts us off in the regular old news stuff, I have a correction to make from the last episode. Thank you very much to user Celebrate Death on the YouTubes for pointing this out in the comments section on the Clips channel. But CKY did not break up. 96 Bitter Beings is in fact a new band and does in fact feature Deron Miller, who used to be in CKY. CKY is still a band. They do still make music. They do still tour, I think. But Deron Miller has started a new project. It's called 96 Bitter Beings. There we go. I corrected myself. I apologize that I apparently misread a lot in that story. And now we're corrected. So let's get into the rest of the music section. So we've got some new music to get out of the way, and we talked about this first one. Blink-182 is releasing new music because they're back together as a band. Tom DeLonge has returned, and we now have a new record coming out. And this first song, Edging, which we kind of sort of talked about in the last episode, that they were teasing that something was coming. Now we know what it is, and it's good. It's not bad at all. It's definitely no Dude Ranch. It's nothing quite to that level of Blink-182, but I would say Enema of the State, yeah, it's probably on par with that. Maybe a little bit better than what you would get from Enema because they're just better songwriters now. But yeah, enjoyable. I haven't enjoyed Blink-182 for such a long time. You should probably go check this one out. Speaking of things that I didn't enjoy previously, but are kind of starting to change my mind, Nita Strauss has put out another new song. Last time we talked about her was David Draymond guest vocaling on it, and that was not great. But this one, featuring Alyssa White-Gluz, is honestly pretty good. Nita shreds, and she shows us that she still has the ability to shred, even though, she didn't give us that with the David Draymond song, like I said. I'm still probably not going to buy this record. I do appreciate that Nita is incredibly talented, and Alyssa is kind of like, she's got really good vocal delivery, but man, her lyrics are garbage. So like, if you're looking for deep lyrical content, yeah, you're probably not going to get that here. But if you're just looking for a good shredding good time, like this is probably that song. So go check it out. And because this is the last episode before, well, the last pre-recorded episode anyway, before Halloween, we have, I had to throw in a Halloween song, actually kind of sort of two Halloween songs. The first one is 2 Minutes to Late Night. This is, the name of the song is Monster Mosh, not Monster Mash. So it is a kind of parody or an updated version, I guess, of Monster Mash. And it's a lot of fun. So 2 Minutes to Late Night is a guy who puts together, different artists for covers and has been doing it for some time. And there's actually a fair amount of them if you want to go check it out. It's good stuff. And this time there's no real noteworthy guest musicians or vocalists or anything. He calls himself, and this is hilarious, he calls himself Gorsinio Hall, and I love it. I haven't seen anything other than music videos coming out of this project, though 2 Minutes to Late Night would imply other things. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention, but either way, this is a lot of fun. So go check out Monster Mosh. And then we have the other Halloween-y kind of song, and that is Gwar. The name of the song is The Cutter. It features Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, and this is the Gwar that I remember listening to much more than the last Gwar song we talked about. That was a lot more 80s power rock, power metal, whatever. This is a lot more just ballsy, like the metal, like I don't know, it's gore. Like this is, you can't really say it's one thing or another aside from it's gore. And this is again a lot more in line with what you expect when you use that name. The video especially very, very bloody and gory and hilarious, and just David Brockie's presence is definitely still missed in this band, but this is putting them back on the track that he started them on. This comes from their most recent record, the new Dark Ages. It is a lot of fun. Go check out this song and actually the whole record, because gore is awesome. And yeah, that's what we got. And then we have tours to get to. Actually, we have one tour to get to, and it was just announced, honestly, like 2 days ago as I'm filming this, and that is Parkway Drive. They will be featuring Memphis, Mayfire, and Currents on the bill. Both bands I like a little bit better than Parkway Drive, not gonna lie. But tickets go on sale October 28th, which is Friday. There is a Blabbermouth pre-sale, which I couldn't find a link to, so I apologize, but by the time you're watching this, it'll probably be done anyway, so you're just gonna have to wait until Friday. And, oh yeah, the dates start January 31st in LA, and they run through February 18th in Orlando, so it's only a 3-week tour, but they're hitting a fair amount of places. Go check it out if you are so inclined. And then we're talking about some regular-ass news. First up, we have a new band to speak of, and the name of this new band is Elegant Weapons, and they are noteworthy because they are a bit of a supergroup in the metal community. So they are featuring Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest, Rex Brown from Pantera. We have Scott Travis also from Judas Priest, and Ronnie Romero from Rainbow. So a lot of old school metal dudes in this band. All 4 of these guys are old school metal dudes. The youngest of which is Rex freaking Brown, who is in Pantera. So come on, man. How could this not be something epic? Their debut album is set to be called Horns for a Halo. It will be out sometime in the spring of next year, and the record label putting it out is Nuclear Blast, so it's going to be amazing. Just saying. Anyway, moving right along with our regular ass news, we have, this is a news piece about a future news piece, because it's Serj Tankian from System of a Down saying, hey, we've got something to announce, but I'm not going to tell you anything until next year. When pressed on whether or not System of a Down was going to be putting out any more new music anytime soon, Serj said, I don't think so, but we do have a major announcement to give you next year. Also, when asked about touring, Serj very specifically said that he doesn't feel like touring is in his near future, though he hasn't ruled it out in the distant future, which may imply perhaps that System of a Down is going into the studio or going into a writing process or something along those lines, or maybe he's just going to be writing a bunch more music for himself and releasing it solo-like. Either way, we don't know until he makes that announcement, or until the band makes that announcement. And yeah, no really idea on a window as to when the announcement is going to be made either. So I will keep tabs and let you know. Let's continue on though. Our next piece also deals with new music, and this one is a little bit more concrete. Killswitch Engage is releasing another freaking record. Ever since Jesse has rejoined this band, I feel like they have been a lot more prolific with their release schedule. There's not been any major gap in between records. And I honestly think that at this point, maybe they could take a little bit of a break and let the fans catch up. Cause like, I haven't really, like, I've listened to all of the records that they've put out since Jesse rejoined. I'm not saying that I haven't, but I haven't like digested and like internalized this music yet. It takes a little bit of doing, because there's so much music out there, especially now, that like, I don't know. I feel like if you continue to tour, which they're doing, you're staying relevant so that people still remember that they love you. So maybe take a year off and let us catch up, because wow, this output from these guys is incredible. They are going into the studio probably sometime in the beginning part of 2023, because they are, I believe Jesse said in the interview, they are finishing demoing when they get off of tour. So demoing is just the stuff that they're doing so they can get the song ideas slapped together, and then you go in the studio and and record the actual studio recording, which again, very likely finishing demoing means they've got a couple of weeks of demoing once the tour ends, which I believe ends next month. I'm pretty sure it ends in November at some point. So then they've got the month of December, probably going to take it off, and then the month of January, get back into the writing process, finish up those demos, and then jump into the studio. So I would be very surprised if we didn't see new Killswitch music by the end of 23. Like, that's the last one. The last record came out in 21, man. Like, I'm super stoked about this. Anyway, I'm gushing. We're going to move on. That is all of the regular ass news. We have music suggestions for the episode. Our musical suggestion for the Halloween episode is Moto Greater. I'm pretty sure we've suggested this record probably within the last year or so, but it is a fantastic record. And being that it is Halloween and kind of the shtick of this band was body paint and stuff like that, then it kind of fits. So yeah, Moto Greater, self-titled record. This is where Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch got his start in the music industry. And honestly, this is music that he has not been able to top since he left the band. The band has not done a whole lot since this album, so it's unfortunate, but this is gold. So go check out the self-titled Moto Greater record. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.